Ladies and gentlemen, there is a divine intelligence that governs all things, and this intelligence, which we often refer to as God, does not work randomly. Every experience, every event is intricately woven into the fabric of your life for a reason. Adversity, though painful in the moment, is a part of that divine design. God allows adversity in your life not to punish, but to elevate you to a higher state of consciousness. Adversity serves as a mirror, reflecting the areas within ourselves that require growth and transformation. Often it is only through hardship that we are forced to confront the very things that we are reluctant to change. These difficulties reveal our fears, insecurities, and doubts. They push us to examine the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. When you are faced with adversity, understand this: you are being invited to awaken to your true self. The struggles you face are not signs of failure or abandonment by God, but rather opportunities for you to rise above your limited perception of who you are. In moments of suffering, you must remember that God does not dwell outside of you. God is within you, moving through you, manifesting as every aspect of your life. The trials you encounter are designed to reveal the power that is already inside of you, waiting to be unleashed. Adversity calls forth your inner strength, your divine wisdom, and your boundless resilience. Think of the seed buried deep in the earth. In darkness, it faces tremendous pressure. The weight of the soil presses down upon it, but it is in this moment of seeming adversity that the seed begins to sprout. It pushes through the darkness, breaks through the earth, and reaches for the light. Without the pressure, without the challenge, the seed would never grow. So it is with you. God allows adversity in your life because you are meant to grow, to expand, to evolve. Your struggles are the fertile ground from which your greatest breakthroughs will emerge. When you face difficulty, instead of resisting it, embrace it. See it as part of the divine process, leading you closer to the realization of your true, limitless self. Do not allow adversity to make you bitter or cynical. It is a teacher, guiding you toward deeper understanding, greater compassion, and unwavering faith in the divine plan. You are always being guided, even when it feels as though the path is unclear. Trust that the universe is working for you, not against you. In moments of challenge, affirm your connection with the divine. Quiet your mind, release your fears, and align yourself with the truth that God is in control, and that you are being led toward the fulfillment of your highest potential. God does not allow adversity to harm you. God allows adversity to transform you. Trust the process, for through every trial, you are being shaped into the person you are destined to become. Adversity is often misunderstood as a negative force, something that disrupts our lives, breaks us down, or even signifies punishment or failure. But in truth, adversity is a part of God's divine design. It is not a random occurrence nor an act of cruelty, but rather a purposeful tool that God uses to bring us closer to our highest potential. When we begin to see adversity in this light, we can transform our relationship with it, understanding that it serves a deeper, more meaningful purpose in our lives. From a spiritual perspective, life is not merely a series of events or circumstances happening to us. It is an unfolding of a divine plan that is carefully orchestrated to guide us toward the realization of our true, divine nature. Everything that happens in our lives is part of that plan, including the difficult and challenging moments. These moments of hardship are not accidents, they are intentional. God allows adversity to enter our lives because it is essential for our spiritual growth and development. Imagine for a moment that life was free of challenges. If everything always went our way, if we never faced obstacles, setbacks, or difficulties, we would never have the opportunity to grow. Growth comes from friction, from the process of overcoming resistance. Just as a muscle must be worked and stretched to become stronger, so too must we be tested and pushed beyond our comfort zones to evolve into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Adversity, then, is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced. It is through adversity that we are forced to confront our limitations, our fears, and our false beliefs about ourselves and the world. When everything is going smoothly, we often fall into complacency. We become comfortable in our routines, in our ways of thinking, and in our perceptions of ourselves. It is only when we are faced with difficulty that we are shaken out of this complacency and called to reevaluate our lives, our choices, and our beliefs. In this sense, adversity is a divine wake-up call. It is God's way of nudging us, sometimes forcefully, to pay attention to the areas of our lives that need transformation. These challenges act as mirrors, reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves that we have neglected or suppressed. They reveal the inner wounds that we carry, the limiting beliefs that hold us back, and the fears that keep us from stepping into our true power. Take, for example, the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned for many years. From an outside perspective, it would seem as though Joseph's life was marked by one terrible misfortune after another. But Joseph never lost faith in God's plan. He understood that even in the midst of his trials, God was working behind the scenes, using the adversity in his life to prepare him for a greater purpose. Eventually, Joseph rose to a position of great power and was able to save his family and his nation from famine. Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that adversity is not the end of the road, but a crucial part of the journey. Without the trials he faced, Joseph would never have been equipped to fulfill his destiny. The same is true for each of us. The challenges we face are not roadblocks, but stepping stones leading us to the realization of our divine potential. One of the key reasons God allows adversity in our lives is to strengthen our faith and trust in Him. When things are going well, it's easy to say we have faith. But true faith is tested in the fire of adversity. It's in those moments of uncertainty, when we don't know how things will work out, that we are called to surrender to a higher power. We are asked to trust that even though we cannot see the bigger picture, God is in control and has a plan for our lives. This process of surrender is not easy. It requires letting go of our need to control and our attachment to specific outcomes. It requires us to release our fears and place our trust fully in God. But it is through this surrender that we experience true peace, knowing that we are always being guided and supported, even in the midst of our struggles. Adversity also serves to humble us. It reminds us that we are not in control of everything, that there is a higher power at work in our lives. In our modern world, where self-reliance and independence are often prized above all else, it can be easy to forget that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. Adversity brings us back to that truth. It reminds us of our dependence on God and the importance of aligning ourselves with His will. When we face difficulties, we often try to handle them on our own. We rely on our own strength, our own intellect, and our own resources to solve our problems. But adversity has a way of bringing us to our knees, of showing us that our human efforts are not enough. It is in these moments of helplessness that we turn to God, seeking His guidance, strength, and wisdom. And it is in this surrender that we find true power, not the power of the ego, but the power of the divine working through us. Furthermore, adversity teaches us compassion and empathy. When we go through difficult times, we are better able to understand and relate to the struggles of others. Our own pain softens our hearts, making us more compassionate and more willing to extend a helping hand to those in need. In this way, adversity not only transforms us personally, but it also enables us to be instruments of God's love and grace in the world. It's important to remember that God does not allow adversity in our lives to punish us or to cause us unnecessary pain. His intention is always love. Just as a parent disciplines a child out of love, not to harm them, but to teach them and guide them, so too does God use adversity to shape and mold us into the people we are meant to be. Ultimately, adversity is a gift, though it may not feel like it in the moment. It is a tool that God uses to bring us closer to Him, to help us grow into our true, divine nature, and to fulfill the purpose for which we were created. When we begin to see adversity in this light, we can approach it with gratitude, knowing that it is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. We may not always understand why certain challenges come into our lives, but we can trust that God's plan is perfect, and that everything we experience is part of a greater design for our good. In the midst of adversity, Let us hold on to this truth and trust that God is using every trial to bring us closer to the realization of our divine potential. The idea that God is within, not outside, is one of the most transformative and empowering truths we can embrace. For much of human history, we have been conditioned to believe that God exists somewhere far away, in the heavens, or in some unreachable realm separate from us. This belief often leads us to see ourselves as small, powerless, and disconnected from the divine. We look to external forces for guidance, help, and salvation, thinking that if we pray hard enough or live in a certain way, we might catch God's attention and receive His favor. However, the truth is much more profound and intimate than that. God is not a distant being observing from afar. God is not outside of us, waiting for us to reach Him through our actions or words. Instead, God dwells within each of us. This realization shifts everything. It changes how we approach life, how we face challenges, and how we understand our own power and potential. When we say that God is within, we are acknowledging that the divine presence that created the universe is the same presence that animates us. It is not separate from us, but intimately woven into the fabric of our being. This divine presence is the source of our thoughts, our creativity, our emotions, and our deepest desires. It is the still, small voice within that guides us, nurtures us, and reminds us of our true nature. The notion that God is within us is not a new concept. It can be found in many spiritual teachings throughout history, including the Bible, where it says the kingdom of God is within you. This passage is a reminder that the divine is not something we need to seek outside of ourselves. It is already here, within us, waiting to be recognized and realized. Once we accept that God is within, our entire perspective on life changes. We no longer feel the need to seek validation, guidance, or approval from external sources. We understand that the answers we seek are already inside us, because the divine wisdom of God flows through us at all times. This understanding brings a profound sense of peace and empowerment, for it means that we are never truly alone or powerless. We carry the presence of God with us in every moment, no matter what circumstances we face. The awareness of God's presence within changes how we approach adversity. Instead of looking outside of ourselves for solutions, we turn inward, trusting that the same divine intelligence that created the universe is also guiding us through our challenges. When we are confronted with difficulties, rather than feeling lost or abandoned, we can remind ourselves that the power of God is within us, always working for our highest good. This shift in perception allows us to navigate life's hardships with a sense of faith and inner strength, knowing that we are always supported by the divine. One of the greatest gifts of recognizing God's presence within is the realization that we have access to infinite wisdom, love, and creativity at all times. We often think that we need to go through specific rituals, prayers, or actions to connect with God. While spiritual practices can be helpful in quieting the mind and tuning into the divine, they are not the only way to experience God's presence. Because God is within, we are always connected to this infinite source of love and guidance, whether we are aware of it or not. The challenge is not to reach God, but to become aware of the connection that already exists. This awareness transforms how we approach prayer. Rather than praying to a distant God, asking for something to be given to us, we begin to pray from a place of unity with the divine. We pray not to ask for what we lack, but to affirm what is already true within us. We shift from a mindset of separation, where we are pleading for help, to a mindset of oneness, where we recognize that we are co-creators with God. In this space, prayer becomes an expression of gratitude and alignment with the divine presence within us, rather than a request for intervention from an external force. Moreover, the realization that God is within leads us to a deeper sense of responsibility for our own lives. If we carry the divine presence within us, then we also carry the power to shape our reality. We are not victims of circumstance, waiting for God to change things for us. We are co-creators with the ability to manifest our desires and shape our lives according to the divine will that flows through us. This is an incredibly empowering truth, for it means that we have the capacity to overcome any obstacle, achieve our goals, and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. At the same time, the awareness of God's presence within teaches us compassion and love for ourselves and others. If the divine resides within each of us, then every person we encounter is also an expression of God. This realization changes how we treat ourselves and how we treat others. We begin to see the divinity in everyone, recognizing that we are all interconnected and all part of the same divine source. This awareness fosters a deep sense of empathy, kindness, and love, not just for ourselves, but for all beings. Understanding that God is within also brings a sense of liberation. We no longer feel the need to live according to the expectations or judgments of others. We no longer seek approval or validation from external sources. Instead, we turn inward, trusting the divine wisdom within us to guide our actions and decisions. This frees us from the limitations of fear, doubt, and insecurity, allowing us to live authentically and in alignment with our true purpose. When we realize that God is within, we also recognize that there is nothing we need to achieve or earn in order to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. We are already whole and complete because we are expressions of the divine. This awareness allows us to let go of the striving, the constant effort to prove ourselves or to attain something outside of ourselves. We come to understand that everything we need is already within us, waiting to be realized and expressed. In practical terms, living with the awareness that God is within means listening to the inner voice of wisdom that speaks to us in moments of stillness. It means trusting our intuition, following our hearts, and allowing ourselves to be guided by the divine presence that dwells within. It means recognizing that we have access to infinite love, creativity, and power at all times, and that we are never truly alone or unsupported. Ultimately, the recognition that God is within us is the key to living a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. It frees us from the limitations of fear and doubt, empowers us to take control of our own lives, and fills us with a deep sense of connection to the divine source of all life. When we live from this place of awareness, we become vessels of God's love and wisdom, expressing our true nature in everything we do. The divine presence within us is always there, always guiding, always loving. All we need to do is turn inward, quiet the noise of the outside world, and recognize the truth that has always been there. God is within, and we are never separate from Him. Trusting the divine process is an act of surrender, a letting go of the need to control or predict every aspect of our lives. It requires a deep and abiding faith that the events, circumstances, and challenges we face are not random or meaningless, but part of a larger, divine plan that is unfolding for our highest good. This trust is not passive resignation, but an active, conscious decision to believe in the wisdom of the universe, even when life does not go according to our expectations. At the heart of trusting the divine process is the understanding that we are connected to a higher intelligence, a divine presence that knows far more than our limited human minds can comprehend. From our perspective, life often seems chaotic and unpredictable. We make plans, set goals, and do everything in our power to create the outcomes we desire. But sometimes, despite our best efforts, things do not go as planned. We encounter setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles that seem to stand in the way of our dreams. In these moments, it can be easy to fall into frustration, fear, or doubt, questioning why things are not working out the way we want. However, when we trust the divine process, we begin to see these setbacks not as failures or mistakes, but as part of the unfolding journey. We understand that the universe operates on a different timeline than we do, and that there are forces at work that we cannot always see or understand. What may seem like a delay or a detour from our perspective could be, in fact, a necessary step in the path to our ultimate fulfillment. The divine process is always at work, guiding us toward our highest potential, even when it feels like we are moving in the wrong direction. One of the most challenging aspects of trusting the divine process is accepting that we do not have all the answers. As humans, we have a natural tendency to want certainty and control. We want to know what will happen next, and we want to ensure that things go according to our plans. But life rarely offers that kind of predictability. The future is always unknown, and despite our best efforts, there are many factors beyond our control. Trusting the divine process means releasing the need to know all the details and being willing to step into the unknown with faith. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It takes courage to trust in something greater than ourselves, to believe that even when we cannot see the full picture, the universe is working in our favor. It is an act of humility, acknowledging that our human perspective is limited and that there is a higher wisdom guiding our lives. When we let go of the need to control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and allow the divine process to unfold in its own time and in its own way. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate trust in the divine process is through reflection on our past experiences. Often when we look back on the challenges we have faced, we can see how everything worked out in ways we could not have predicted. What once seemed like a setback or a failure may have turned out to be a blessing in disguise, leading us to new opportunities, relationships, or insights that we never would have encountered otherwise. These moments serve as reminders that the divine process is always at work, even when we cannot see it in the moment. Consider the metaphor of a gardener planting seeds. When the seeds are first planted, nothing seems to be happening. The soil looks bare and there is no visible sign of growth. But beneath the surface, a complex and intricate process is taking place. The seeds are germinating, roots are forming, and soon new life will sprout from the ground. The gardener does not rush the process or dig up the seeds to check if they are growing. Instead, they trust in the natural cycle of growth, knowing that in time the plants will bloom. In the same way, we must trust the divine process, knowing that even when we cannot see immediate results, growth is happening beneath the surface. Trusting the divine process also means being open to the unexpected. Sometimes the universe has plans for us that are far greater than anything we could have imagined for ourselves. When we are too focused on a specific outcome or rigid in our expectations, we may miss the opportunities that life is presenting to us. By releasing our attachment to how things should unfold, we create space for the divine process to bring us what we truly need, even if it looks different from what we initially envisioned. This openness requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing challenges or detours as obstacles, we begin to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Each experience, whether pleasant or difficult, becomes a part of the divine process, guiding us closer to our true purpose. In this way, trusting the divine process is not just about waiting for good things to happen, but about embracing every moment as a step in our spiritual journey. It's important to remember that the divine process is not linear. Growth and transformation rarely follow a straight path. There are ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion, times of progress and times of stillness. But all of these experiences are necessary for our evolution. Just as a caterpillar must go through the darkness of the cocoon before emerging as a butterfly, we too must sometimes go through periods of uncertainty or struggle before we can fully step into our potential. Trusting the divine process means having faith that even in the darkness, something beautiful is being born. Another key aspect of trusting the divine process is learning to be patient. In a world that often values instant gratification, it can be difficult to wait for things to unfold in their own time. We want results now, and when they don't come quickly, we may feel discouraged or impatient. But the divine process operates on a different timeline, one that is not always aligned with our human desires for speed. Patience is essential in trusting the divine process, for it allows us to remain calm and centered, even when things seem to be moving slowly. In those moments when it feels like nothing is happening, or when we are faced with delays and setbacks, it's important to remember that the universe is always working behind the scenes. Sometimes the delays we experience are necessary for our growth. They give us the time and space we need to develop the skills, wisdom, or perspective that will be required for the next stage of our journey. By trusting the divine process, we can find peace in the waiting, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trusting the divine process means letting go of fear. Fear is often what holds us back from fully embracing the unknown. We fear failure, disappointment, or loss, and so we cling to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us. But fear is the opposite of trust. When we trust in the divine process, we release our fears and step forward with confidence, knowing that we are always supported by a higher power. This trust does not mean that we will never face challenges or hardships, but it does mean that we can move through them with grace, knowing that they are part of a larger plan for our growth and evolution. In trusting the divine process, we align ourselves with the flow of life. We become co-creators with the universe, working in harmony with the divine forces that guide us. This trust brings a sense of peace, even in the midst of uncertainty, and allows us to live with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Adversity is often seen as something to be avoided, feared, or overcome as quickly as possible. Yet, if we shift our perspective, we can begin to see adversity not as an enemy, but as one of our greatest teachers. It serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us who we truly are, revealing the aspects of ourselves that we might otherwise overlook. In this way, adversity becomes an opportunity for deep self-reflection, for understanding our true nature, and for personal growth in ways that comfort and ease could never provide. When we face adversity, we are often pushed out of our comfort zones and into situations that force us to confront our weaknesses, our fears, and our limitations. It's in these moments of challenge that the layers we've built up to protect ourselves start to peel away. We are no longer able to hide behind the personas we've created or the illusions of control and security that we cling to in everyday life. Instead, adversity strips us bare, revealing the raw, unfiltered truth of who we are. In this sense, adversity acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us the aspects of ourselves that are most in need of attention. Perhaps we discover that we are not as strong or resilient as we thought. Maybe we realize that we've been holding on to beliefs or behaviors that no longer serve us, or that we've been avoiding certain truths about ourselves or our lives. These realizations can be uncomfortable, even painful, but they are also necessary if we are to grow and evolve. In the absence of adversity, it's easy to fall into complacency, to move through life on autopilot, without ever really examining who we are or what we're doing. We may think we know ourselves, but often it's not until we're tested by difficulty that we come to understand the depths of our character. Adversity forces us to confront our shadows, those parts of ourselves that we try to hide or ignore. It shows us where we are still wounded, where we are still afraid, and where we still need to heal. For example, when faced with a personal or professional setback, we might feel a surge of anger, frustration, or helplessness. These emotions, while uncomfortable, can reveal a great deal about us. Perhaps the anger points to an underlying insecurity or fear of failure. Maybe the frustration stems from a desire for control, and the helplessness is a reflection of our unwillingness to surrender to the flow of life. In this way, adversity acts as a mirror, showing us the deeper layers of our emotional and psychological landscape. It's also during times of adversity that we often discover strengths we didn't know we had. When life is easy, there's little need for courage, resilience, or perseverance. But when we are faced with difficulties, these qualities are called forth from within us. We may surprise ourselves with our ability to endure, to keep going even when things seem hopeless, to find solutions where none seemed possible before. These moments of strength and resilience reveal to us the true power of our inner being, a power that might have remained dormant had it not been for the adversity that brought it to light. Adversity also invites us to reflect on our relationship with control. So much of human life is spent trying to control our circumstances, to create a sense of security and predictability in a world that is inherently uncertain. We make plans, set goals, and work hard to achieve them, believing that if we just do everything right, we can avoid hardship and suffering. But adversity teaches us that control is often an illusion. No matter how carefully we plan or how diligently we work, life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges our way. In these moments, we are forced to confront the reality that we are not in control of everything. This realization can be terrifying at first, but it also opens the door to a deeper understanding of life's mysteries. When we let go of the need to control, we begin to trust the process of life more fully. We come to see that there is a higher intelligence at work, a divine order that is guiding our lives in ways that we cannot always understand from our limited human perspective. Adversity then becomes not just a mirror for self-reflection, but also an opportunity to deepen our trust in the universe and in ourselves. Another way that adversity serves as a mirror is by revealing our attachments. When things are going well, we tend to become attached to the people, possessions, and circumstances that bring us comfort and joy. We come to rely on these external factors for our sense of identity and security. But when adversity strikes, these attachments are often threatened or taken away, forcing us to confront the question of who we are without them. Are we defined by our successes, our relationships, our material wealth? Or is there something deeper, something unchanging within us that remains even in the face of loss? This kind of self-reflection can be difficult, but it is also profoundly liberating. Adversity strips away the superficial layers of our identity, revealing the core of who we truly are. It shows us that our worth is not dependent on external factors, but comes from within. This realization allows us to move through life with a greater sense of freedom and authenticity, unburdened by the need for external validation or approval. Moreover, adversity teaches us humility. When life is going smoothly, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we are in control, that we have all the answers, or that we are somehow immune to suffering. But adversity reminds us that we are all vulnerable, that we are all subject to the ups and downs of life. This humility can be a powerful catalyst for growth, as it opens our hearts and minds to new perspectives, new ways of thinking, and new ways of being. It reminds us that we are all connected, that no one is above hardship, and that in our vulnerability we find our common humanity. Ultimately, adversity serves as a mirror for self-reflection because it forces us to confront the truth of who we are. It strips away the illusions, the masks, and the defenses that we use to protect ourselves from discomfort. It shows us our strengths, our weaknesses, our fears, and our attachments. It challenges us to grow, to evolve, and to become more aligned with our true nature. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that we are always in the process of becoming, that life is a journey of continuous growth and transformation, and that adversity is an essential part of that journey. In the end, it's not the adversity itself that defines us, but how we respond to it. Do we shrink back in fear, or do we rise to the challenge? Do we resist the lessons that adversity has to offer, or do we embrace them with an open heart and mind? The choice is ours. And when we choose to see adversity as a mirror for self-reflection, we unlock the door to deeper wisdom, greater resilience, and a more profound understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Through adversity, we come to know ourselves more fully, and in knowing ourselves, we come to know the divine. Adversity often serves as one of the most powerful catalysts for spiritual growth. While challenges and hardships can feel overwhelming in the moment, they have a unique way of pushing us beyond our ordinary perceptions, beliefs, and limitations, leading us to deeper levels of understanding, awareness, and connection with the divine. Adversity forces us to confront the illusions we hold about ourselves, life, and the nature of existence. It strips away our sense of control, security, and predictability, forcing us to turn inward and seek meaning and strength from a higher source. In moments of ease and comfort, we tend to focus on the material world, our achievements, possessions, and relationships. While there is nothing inherently wrong with these things, they often become the central focus of our lives, distracting us from the deeper spiritual truths that lie beneath the surface. Adversity, on the other hand, has a way of shaking us out of this complacency. It disrupts the routines, expectations, and attachments we have built, forcing us to ask fundamental questions about the purpose of our lives and the nature of reality. What is truly important? What is the meaning of this suffering? Why do bad things happen? These are the questions that arise during times of adversity, and they are also the questions that can lead to profound spiritual breakthroughs. One of the key ways in which adversity catalyzes spiritual growth is by challenging our sense of identity. Many of us go through life with a fixed sense of who we are based on our job, our relationships, our social status, or our achievements. We take pride in these aspects of ourselves, and they become central to our sense of self-worth. But when adversity strikes, these external markers of identity can be threatened or taken away. A job loss, the end of a relationship, or a health crisis can shatter our carefully constructed sense of self, leaving us feeling lost and uncertain. In these moments, we are forced to confront the question, who am I really? Am I defined by my external circumstances, or is there something deeper within me that remains constant even in the face of loss and change? This questioning can be deeply uncomfortable, but it is also essential for spiritual growth. It pushes us to look beyond the surface level of our lives and connect with the deeper essence of who we truly are. We begin to realize that our true identity is not found in our job title, our possessions, or even our relationships. Instead, it is found in our connection to the divine, the eternal part of ourselves that transcends the temporary ups and downs of life. Adversity, by stripping away the outer layers of our identity, allows us to connect more deeply with this inner spiritual self. Another way in which adversity fosters spiritual growth is by teaching us the value of surrender. As human beings, we have a natural tendency to want to control our lives and the world around us. We make plans, set goals, and work hard to create the outcomes we desire. But adversity reminds us that, despite our best efforts, there are many things in life that are beyond our control. No matter how carefully we plan, life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges in our path. In these moments, we are forced to let go of our need for control and surrender to the flow of life. This surrender is not about giving up or becoming passive, but about recognizing that there is a higher intelligence at work, guiding the course of our lives in ways we cannot always understand. When we surrender to the divine in times of adversity, we begin to develop a deeper sense of trust. We come to understand that even when things don't go according to our plans, the universe is still working in our favor. Adversity becomes not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as part of the divine process of growth and evolution. This trust allows us to move through difficult times with greater grace and equanimity, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if we cannot see the bigger picture in the moment. Adversity also has a way of deepening our compassion and empathy. When we go through difficult times, we come face to face with our own vulnerability, pain, and suffering. We realize that we are not immune to hardship, that life can be unpredictable and challenging for all of us. This recognition can open our hearts to the suffering of others. We begin to see that everyone is carrying their own burdens, that everyone is facing challenges, even if those challenges are not always visible on the surface. Adversity then becomes a bridge of connection between us and others. It softens our judgments, deepens our empathy, and allows us to approach others with greater kindness and understanding. In this way, adversity fosters spiritual growth not just on an individual level, but on a collective level as well. As we move through our own challenges, we become more attuned to the struggles of others, and we are able to offer them the support, love, and compassion that we ourselves have needed. This sense of shared humanity, of recognizing that we are all in this together, is a key aspect of spiritual maturity. It reminds us that we are not separate from one another, but part of a larger interconnected whole. Adversity also teaches us the importance of resilience and perseverance. Spiritual growth is not a linear process, and it is often during the most challenging times that we make the greatest leaps forward. But in order to grow, we must be willing to endure the discomfort and uncertainty that adversity brings. This requires resilience, the ability to keep going, even when things are difficult, and to remain open to the lessons that adversity has to offer. Perseverance is not just about pushing through challenges with brute force, but about staying present, staying open, and trusting that there is a deeper meaning to our struggles. It is about continuing to seek the light, even when we are surrounded by darkness. Adversity can also serve as a wake-up call, reminding us of the transient nature of life and the importance of focusing on what truly matters. When everything is going well, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness and distractions of everyday life. We may prioritize things like success, status, or material wealth without stopping to consider whether these things are really bringing us lasting fulfillment. But when adversity strikes, it forces us to reevaluate our priorities. We begin to realize that many of the things we once thought were important are, in fact, fleeting and superficial. Adversity strips away the non-essentials, revealing what is truly important: our relationships, our connection to the divine, our inner peace, and our ability to live with integrity and love. Adversity is a powerful teacher. It challenges us, stretches us, and forces us to grow in ways that we might never have imagined. It is through adversity that we come to know ourselves more deeply, to connect more fully with the divine, and to develop the qualities of resilience, compassion, and trust that are essential for spiritual growth. While it may not be easy, adversity is often the very thing that propels us forward on our spiritual journey, helping us to become more fully aligned with our true nature and purpose in this life. In every challenge, there is an opportunity for growth, and in every moment of adversity, there is a chance to deepen our connection with the divine. By embracing adversity as a catalyst for spiritual growth, we transform our struggles into stepping stones on the path to enlightenment and self-realization. Trials are an inevitable part of life, and while they can be challenging and painful, they also serve as powerful opportunities for growth. One of the most profound gifts that trials offer is the revelation of inner strength and resilience. Often we go through life unaware of the depth of our capabilities until we are forced to confront hardship. It is in these moments of struggle that we begin to realize how strong we truly are, discovering qualities within ourselves that might have remained dormant had we not faced adversity. When life is comfortable and predictable, we tend to operate within our familiar routines and comfort zones. There is little need to test our limits or tap into our deeper reserves of strength because the circumstances of our lives don't require it. However, when we are faced with trials, whether they take the form of personal loss, failure, illness, or any other significant challenge, these comforts are stripped away, and we are left to navigate the unknown. In these moments, our instinctual response is often one of fear or helplessness. Yet, as we move through the difficulty, something remarkable begins to happen. We realize that we are more capable than we initially believed. Inner strength is not something that is readily apparent on the surface. It is often hidden beneath layers of self-doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But trials have a way of forcing us to dig deeper within ourselves. When faced with overwhelming obstacles, we are compelled to access parts of ourselves that we may not have known existed. This strength often comes in the form of endurance, the ability to keep going, even when the path ahead seems impossible. We learn that we can survive, and not just survive, but grow through the challenges that life throws our way. Resilience, closely tied to inner strength, is the capacity to bounce back from setbacks, to recover from difficulties, and to keep moving forward despite the odds. Trials reveal this resilience in profound ways. We might stumble, fall, and feel utterly defeated at times, but resilience is what allows us to rise again, to find hope in the midst of despair, and to continue the journey with renewed determination. The process of overcoming trials teaches us that failure and setbacks are not the end of the road. They are simply detours that provide us with the opportunity to reassess, recalibrate, and move forward with greater wisdom and insight. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is its ability to transform our relationship with adversity. At first, trials may feel like insurmountable burdens, but over time, as we develop resilience, we begin to see these challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Each trial we overcome strengthens our resolve and builds our confidence. We come to understand that we are not defined by our struggles, but by how we respond to them. Resilience enables us to approach future challenges with a sense of calm and determination, knowing that we have faced difficulties before and emerged stronger on the other side. It is also important to recognize that trials often reveal more than just our capacity for endurance. They also illuminate our hidden talents, abilities, and potential. In times of difficulty, we may discover new aspects of ourselves that we never knew existed. Perhaps we find that we have a talent for problem solving or creative thinking under pressure. Maybe we realize that we are capable of leading others or offering support and encouragement in times of crisis. These discoveries can be incredibly empowering, as they show us that we are far more resourceful and adaptable than we give ourselves credit for. Trials also bring to light the importance of faith and trust, both in ourselves and in something greater than ourselves. When we are faced with overwhelming challenges, we are often forced to relinquish control and surrender to the flow of life. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but rather an acknowledgement that we cannot always dictate the outcome of every situation. In this surrender, we learn to trust in our own ability to navigate uncertainty and in the larger, often unseen forces that guide our lives. This trust allows us to approach trials with a sense of openness and curiosity, rather than fear and resistance. Furthermore, trials reveal our capacity for compassion both for ourselves and for others. As we navigate our own struggles, we become more attuned to the suffering of those around us. We begin to realize that hardship is a universal experience, and that no one is immune to life's challenges. This awareness deepens our empathy, allowing us to offer support and understanding to others who are going through difficult times. In this way, trials not only strengthen our individual resilience, but also foster a sense of connection and shared humanity. The process of moving through trials also teaches us patience and humility. In our fast-paced, results-oriented world, we often expect instant solutions and quick fixes to our problems. But trials remind us that growth and healing take time. We may not see immediate results, and the path forward may be unclear, but with patience we learn to trust in the process. Humility comes from recognizing that we do not have all the answers, and that life's challenges are often beyond our control. This humility opens us to the possibility of receiving help from others and from the divine, reinforcing the idea that we are not meant to navigate life's trials alone. As we emerge from trials, we carry with us the lessons and insights that these experiences have imparted. We are not the same people we were before the trial began. We have been shaped and transformed by the challenges we have faced, and this transformation is often one of profound spiritual and emotional growth. We come to see that the strength and resilience we discovered within ourselves during times of difficulty are not fleeting, they are permanent aspects of our character that we can draw upon in the future. This realization gives us a sense of inner peace and confidence, knowing that no matter what challenges may come, we have the tools and the strength to face them. Ultimately, trials serve as catalysts for self-discovery and transformation. They strip away the superficial layers of our identity and force us to confront our deepest fears, limitations, and vulnerabilities. In doing so, they reveal the strength and resilience that lie at the core of our being. We come to understand that we are far more powerful and capable than we ever imagined, and that we possess an inner well of strength that can carry us through even the darkest of times. Through trials, we also come to realize that life is not about avoiding hardship, but about learning to navigate it with grace, courage, and wisdom. Each trial we face is an opportunity to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It is through the process of overcoming challenges that we grow, evolve, and become more fully aligned with our true nature. In this sense, trials are not just obstacles to be overcome, they are essential components of our spiritual journey, guiding us toward greater strength, resilience, and self-awareness. Trials reveal the truth of who we are: resilient, strong, capable, and deeply connected to a source of inner power that transcends the circumstances of our lives. This realization is both humbling and empowering, reminding us that we are not defined by our struggles, but by how we respond to them. With each trial we face, we have the opportunity to uncover more of our true potential and to grow into the fullest expression of ourselves. Adversity often emerges as an unexpected and unwelcome presence in our lives, challenging our comfort zones and pushing us into unfamiliar territory. While it may initially appear as a burden, adversity serves as a powerful catalyst for transformation. It acts as a profound teacher, compelling us to reevaluate our beliefs, values, and priorities. In this way, adversity is not merely an obstacle to overcome, it is a pivotal force that can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. When we encounter adversity, we are often confronted with our limitations, fears, and insecurities. These challenges can manifest in various forms: the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, a health crisis, or the death of a loved one. Each of these experiences can leave us feeling vulnerable, disoriented, and uncertain about the future. In the midst of such turmoil, we may grapple with feelings of inadequacy, helplessness, and confusion. However, these very struggles are what invite us to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. At the heart of this transformational journey is the process of introspection. Adversity forces us to turn inward and examine our thoughts, beliefs, and emotional responses. We begin to ask ourselves critical questions. What does this experience reveal about my values? What do I truly want out of life? What fears are holding me back? In this process of reflection, we uncover layers of our identity that may have been obscured by the noise of everyday life. The trials we face illuminate the aspects of ourselves that we have neglected, providing an opportunity to reconnect with our authentic selves. As we emerge from the crucible of adversity, we often find that we possess a renewed sense of purpose and direction. The trials we faced have clarified our values and priorities, guiding us toward a more meaningful existence. We may feel a greater sense of alignment with our true selves and a deeper commitment to pursuing our passions. This newfound clarity can ignite a fire within us, propelling us forward on a path of transformation and fulfillment. Furthermore, adversity can deepen our spiritual connection. In times of struggle, many individuals turn to their faith or spiritual practices for solace and guidance. Adversity often serves as a catalyst for spiritual awakening, prompting us to explore the deeper questions of life and existence. We may seek a greater understanding of our place in the universe, the nature of suffering, and the power of love and compassion. This exploration can lead to profound insights, allowing us to cultivate a deeper sense of connection to the divine and to the world around us. Ultimately, adversity is a transformative force that shapes us in ways we could never anticipate. It invites us to confront our limitations, rediscover our inner strength, and expand our perspectives. Through the challenges we face, we learn resilience, empathy, acceptance, and the importance of meaningful connections. The process of transformation through adversity is not always easy, but it is often the crucible through which we emerge as more authentic, empowered, and compassionate individuals. In reflecting on our experiences of adversity, we may come to see these trials not as mere hardships, but as essential milestones on our journey of growth and evolution. Each challenge we face serves as an opportunity to become more fully ourselves, to step into our power, and to embrace the beauty and complexity of life. Adversity teaches us that transformation is not a destination, but a continuous journey, a journey that is shaped by the trials we encounter along the way. By embracing adversity as a path to transformation, we open ourselves to the profound possibilities that life has to offer, allowing us to grow into the fullest expression of who we are meant to be. In conclusion, the journey through adversity is not merely a passage of suffering, it is a profound and transformative experience that shapes our character and deepens our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Each trial we encounter serves as a pivotal moment, inviting us to look inward and confront our fears, limitations, and hidden strengths. Through this process, we cultivate resilience, a powerful attribute that enables us to bounce back from setbacks and face future challenges with renewed determination. Adversity teaches us invaluable lessons about trust in ourselves, in the divine process of life, and in the interconnectedness of our human experience. It encourages us to surrender to the present moment, fostering acceptance and opening our hearts to healing and growth. As we navigate the stormy seas of hardship, we often discover that our greatest insights emerge from our darkest moments, illuminating our paths with newfound clarity and purpose. Moreover, adversity enhances our empathy and compassion, reminding us of our shared humanity. The struggles we face allow us to connect with others on a deeper level, creating bonds of understanding and support. In this way, adversity not only transforms us, but also strengthens the fabric of our relationships, fostering a sense of community and solidarity. Ultimately, adversity is a powerful teacher, guiding us toward our authentic selves and propelling us on a journey of continual growth. It encourages us to redefine our values and priorities, empowering us to pursue lives filled with purpose and passion. Through the trials we endure, we learn that we are not defined by our struggles, but by how we rise and transform in their wake. As we embrace adversity as a necessary and enriching part of our lives, we recognize it as a pathway to profound personal evolution. Each challenge becomes a stepping stone toward our greater selves, a catalyst for transformation that enables us to live with greater authenticity, strength, and compassion. In this light, adversity is not something to be feared or avoided. Rather, it is an essential aspect of the human experience, one that ultimately leads us to our most profound insights, our deepest connections, and our highest potential. In the hustle and bustle of life, many of us find ourselves chasing after what we desire, be it success, love, peace, or wealth. We work tirelessly, often to the point of exhaustion, believing that the harder we try, the closer we come to achieving our dreams. But I tell you today, the secret is not in the trying, but in the being. You see, the universe responds not to your efforts or your struggles, but to your state of being. When you stop trying to get it, you open the door for it to come to you. The more you try to force something into existence, the more you affirm to the universe that you do not already possess it. You are in a state of lack, and in that state of lack you repel the very thing you desire. Let us reflect on the words, "Stop trying to get it," and you will have it all. The moment you realize that you are already the embodiment of all that you seek is the moment everything starts to shift. The key is within you. The power you seek is within your own consciousness. You must first recognize your divine nature and the abundance that already exists within and around you. Now, take a moment to think about a time when you were desperate for something. Perhaps you wanted a promotion at work, or you longed for a particular relationship to come into your life. When you focused solely on the desire itself, did it not seem to elude you? But when you relaxed and began to live in the assumption that it was already yours, did it not naturally flow to you? This is the power of your inner world. What you believe, what you assume, and what you feel within yourself is what you manifest into your outer world. The secret to having it all is not in pushing and striving for it, but in surrendering to the knowing that it is already yours. The moment you stop trying to get it, you align with the energy of having it. Let me ask you, how would you act if you already had everything you desired? How would you feel if all your dreams were already fulfilled? Would you feel more relaxed, more confident, more peaceful? This shift in perspective is not a mere exercise in imagination, it is the very foundation of manifestation. You must embody the feelings of your desires fulfilled, for in doing so you create a vibrational match to those desires. The more you embody the feeling of having it all, the more it will flow to you effortlessly. This is why the path to manifestation lies in your belief. If you persist in the belief that you are lacking, you will continue to attract lack. But when you believe, truly believe, that you are whole and complete in this very moment, everything you need will come to you naturally. You do not need to seek it out, chase after it, or force it into existence. It is already yours by divine right. The law of attraction, a principle that many talk about but few truly understand. The universe is not something separate from you. It is not out there, distant, or beyond your reach. The universe is within you. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, and your actions all work in harmony with the universe to create your reality. You are not a passive observer. You are the creator. You are the architect of your own life. The moment you stop trying to chase after what you think you need, you begin to recognize that everything you have ever desired is already inside you. Imagine you are sitting in a room, and the room is filled with treasures, gold, jewels, and everything you could ever want. All you need to do is open your eyes to the room that you are already in. There is no need to go outside of this room to search for what you desire. Everything you need is already within your reach, just waiting for you to realize it. Yet many spend their entire lives searching for treasure outside the room, thinking it is somewhere beyond their grasp, when in truth it has always been with them. The act of trying to get something stems from a deep-seated belief in lack. When you are in the vibration of lack, you constantly feel that there is something missing from your life. You feel as though you must earn what is rightfully yours. But what if I told you that there is no need to earn what you already have? What if I told you that the moment you accept your inherent worthiness, everything you desire will naturally come to you? Your desires are not there to torment you, to make you feel incomplete. They are there to remind you of who you truly are. Your desires are a reflection of the divine essence within you, calling you to awaken to your full potential. The only thing standing between you and your desires is your belief that you need to work hard to earn them. The truth is, you do not need to earn what you are already entitled to. Your desires are simply a reflection of the consciousness you hold. To stop trying to get it means to cease striving from a place of fear or desperation. It means stepping into a state of trust, knowing that all things are working together for your good. When you stop trying to get it, you begin to live in alignment with the flow of life, with the natural rhythm of the universe. And in that flow, everything you desire will effortlessly appear. Consider the nature of a river. The river does not struggle to flow. It does not try to get to the ocean. It simply flows, knowing that its destination is already set. It moves naturally, without resistance, carving its own path, and in doing so, it reaches the ocean. It doesn't chase the ocean, it becomes the ocean. It merges with it. And so it is with you. When you stop trying to get what you desire and simply allow yourself to be, you align with the natural flow of life. Everything you need will come to you as effortlessly as the river flows to the sea. The struggle many face comes from the belief that they must control the outcome. They try to micromanage the how and when of their desires, but the how and when are not for you to decide. Your role is to simply believe, feel, and act as if your desires are already fulfilled. The universe will take care of the rest. When you surrender the need to control, you open the doors for your desires to come to you in ways far beyond your limited understanding. You see, every thought you think is a seed you plant in the soil of your consciousness. The quality of the seeds you plant determines the harvest you will reap. But here's the catch. It's not about planting seeds in a frantic attempt to get something. It's about planting seeds with the knowing that the harvest is already yours. When you plant with the intention of getting something, you are planting with the energy of lack. You are affirming that you do not have it now, and that energy ripples out into the universe. But when you plant with the knowing that it is already yours, you plant with the energy of abundance, and that energy attracts more of the same. Let me tell you something else. The things you desire are already in alignment with your purpose. The dreams you have are not random. They are part of the divine plan for your life. You were born with a specific purpose, and your desires are the whispers of your soul, guiding you towards that purpose. When you stop trying to get it, you allow yourself to be guided. You trust that the desires you have are simply stepping stones along your journey, not obstacles to overcome. There is a profound peace that comes when you stop trying. It is the peace of knowing that everything is already working in your favor. You do not have to fight for what is yours. You do not have to prove yourself. You do not have to push or strain. The more you push, the further you push away what you desire. But the more you surrender, the closer you draw it to you. This peace is the key to unlocking your desires. When you are at peace, you vibrate at a frequency that is in perfect harmony with the universe. The universe is not a chaotic, unpredictable force. It is a system of perfect order and balance. And when you align yourself with that order, everything flows effortlessly to you. But the moment you step into resistance, the flow is interrupted. The more you try to control, the more you block the very thing you seek. It's time to let go of the struggle. It's time to trust in the process. The moment you stop trying to get it, you open yourself to receiving it. Your desires are not a reward for hard work, they are a reflection of who you are at your core. The moment you stop seeking, you begin to see the truth. You already have it. You are the very embodiment of everything you have ever desired. And this truth is not limited to material things. It extends to your relationships, your health, your happiness, and your inner peace. When you stop trying to get love, love comes to you. When you stop trying to get success, success comes to you. When you stop trying to get validation, validation comes to you. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be recognized. So take a moment to reflect on your desires. What is it that you have been chasing? What have you been striving for? Now ask yourself, what if it is already mine? What if I do not need to work so hard to get it? What if I simply allow myself to experience it now? When you shift your thinking from trying to getting, you align yourself with your true power. The truth is simple. You are not here to struggle. You are here to live, to experience, and to create. You are here to remember your divine essence and to allow the universe to reflect that essence back to you. You are the creator of your reality, and when you stop trying to get it, you give yourself permission to create it with ease. There is no need for struggle. There is no need for worry. There is no need for fear. The moment you let go of the need to try, you open the space for everything you desire to flow to you effortlessly. It's time to stop trying to get it and instead simply trust that it is already yours. The moment you let go of the struggle, you will find that you have it all. You are already whole. You are already abundant. You are already loved. And when you stop trying, the universe will show you just how true that is. So let go. Let go of the fear. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the belief that you need to try harder. Trust that it is already yours. Trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and that the moment you stop trying to get it, you will have it all. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you step into a profound state of relaxation, of allowing. The more you allow life to unfold naturally, the more you see how effortlessly it can come to you. You may have been taught to believe that success requires relentless effort, to believe that happiness is earned through struggle. But the truth is quite the opposite. Success, joy, peace, and everything you desire is simply an effect of aligning with your highest self and allowing the universe to deliver. It doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be received. When you are in a state of wanting, you are focusing on the absence of the thing you desire. You are telling the universe that it's not here, that it's something outside of you, something you have to chase. But the moment you stop wanting and begin feeling as though you already possess what you desire, you align with the energy of abundance. You shift from a place of lack to a place of wholeness. When you believe that you already have what you want, you no longer need to fight for it. In fact, the mere act of chasing after your desires signifies that you do not truly believe they are already yours. The power of manifestation lies in the ability to believe that what you seek is already yours, and to experience that belief fully in the present moment. The act of trying is an act of resistance. It is an effort to manipulate the outside world to match your internal desires, and that effort only creates more resistance. However, when you stop trying and surrender to the belief that what you want is already yours, you allow the universe to align with your energy and bring it to you. The secret is not in the doing, but in the being. You are already the person who possesses everything you seek. The wealth, the love, the success, the happiness, it is all inside you already. And the more you try to get these things, the further away they seem to be. But when you stop trying and begin embodying the essence of having everything you desire, you become the magnet that attracts it all. Your thoughts are not just fleeting things. They are powerful forces that shape your reality. What you think about consistently, you will bring about. This is why it is so important to focus not on the absence of what you want, but on the abundance that is already yours. Stop focusing on what you don't have, and start focusing on what you already possess. Shift your thoughts from lack to abundance, from struggle to ease, and you will see your reality begin to reflect that shift. In every moment, you have the power to choose your thoughts and emotions. You have the power to decide whether you will continue to chase after something, or whether you will embrace the truth that it is already yours. The moment you realize that you do not need to chase after anything, you step into a state of complete freedom. You stop working against the natural flow of life, and instead you start working with it. The more you try to control the outcome, the more you resist the natural process of manifestation. It is a paradox: the more you chase after something, the more you push it away. But the moment you let go of control and trust in the process, the universe aligns with your desires. It's like trying to hold on to water. The more tightly you grip it, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you relax your grip and allow the water to flow, it stays with you. You must trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it seems like things are not moving in the direction you want. Trust that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring you what you desire. It may not come in the exact way you expect, but it will come. When you stop trying to control the how and when you allow space for miracles to happen. One of the most profound shifts you can make in your life is the realization that you are already whole. You are not lacking anything. You do not need to work harder or try more desperately to prove your worth or to earn the things you desire. You are worthy simply because you exist. Your desires are not signs of what you lack, but rather reflections of your divine essence, calling you to become more of who you truly are. When you stop trying to get something, you begin to express more fully who you are, and in doing so, you allow everything you desire to come to you. The law of attraction is not just about asking for what you want and waiting for it to appear. It is about becoming the person who already has what you want. It is about embodying the energy of having it and allowing that energy to magnetize your desires to you. When you embody the feeling of already having what you want, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you are in alignment with your desires. The universe responds to this vibration by bringing you everything that matches it. You are a vibrational being, and everything in the universe is energy. The car you drive, the relationships you have, the money in your bank account, they are all the result of the vibration you are emitting. When you stop trying to get it, you stop emitting the vibration of lack. Instead, you begin to emit the vibration of abundance, and the universe responds accordingly. But this process is not about forcing yourself into a state of feeling good when you don't truly feel that way. It is not about pretending everything is fine when you feel conflicted. The key is to shift your perception. Start by recognizing that the desire you have is already a part of you. You are already in possession of it. Your only task is to align with the truth that it is already yours. Once you realize that the thing you desire is not separate from you, the need to try to get it disappears. You no longer need to chase it because you are already living as though you have it. Take a moment and ask yourself, what is it that I am striving for? And now ask, what if I already had it? What would that feel like? Step into the feelings of having what you want. Feel the joy, the peace, the gratitude. As you embrace those feelings, you align with the very energy that brings your desires into reality. The more you feel as if your desires are already fulfilled, the more they will materialize in your life. Life is not about struggling to achieve something. It is about recognizing that everything you need is already here, and everything you desire is already on its way to you. The universe is abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. There is no need to compete, no need to hustle. All you have to do is align with the energy of abundance, stop trying to get it, and allow the universe to bring everything you desire to you. This process takes patience. It takes trust. But most of all, it takes surrender. When you stop trying to force things into existence, you begin to experience life in a whole new way. You begin to see the magic of the universe unfolding before your eyes. You begin to notice synchronicities, opportunities, and blessings that were always there, but that you were too caught up in the chase to see. The key to having it all is not in the striving, it is in the being. The more you allow yourself to be the person who already has everything you desire, the more the universe will respond to you. And when you stop trying to get it, you will have it all. You may wonder how this all works. How can simply stopping the pursuit of something, releasing the need to chase after it, bring it to you? The answer lies in the understanding of the deeper workings of the mind and the universe. We live in a world governed by laws far greater than we can comprehend with our conscious minds. But once you begin to understand that everything is energy, that your thoughts and feelings are not merely fleeting moments, but actual vibrations influencing the fabric of your reality, things begin to make sense. Every thought, every feeling you emit, whether positive or negative, creates a ripple in the universe, sending out signals that attract similar energy back to you. So the more you focus on the lack of what you desire, the more you create a reality where that lack persists. It is the natural law at work. What you focus on grows. This is why it's so important to shift your focus from what you don't have to what you already have, and to fully embrace the feeling of having it now. When you stop the constant yearning and let go of the urgency, you create space for the fulfillment of your desires. You have been programmed, often by society and external influences, to believe that striving, achieving, and doing are the only ways to succeed. The truth is, success is not about how much effort you put into obtaining something. True success comes from within, from the quiet realization that you are already whole and complete. You are already worthy of everything you desire. The act of getting is simply an illusion. Your true power lies in being in the present moment and accepting your inherent worth. When you stop trying to get it, you tap into the infinite power that exists within you. You stop pushing against the flow of life and instead flow with it. The struggle to obtain what you desire fades away, and you become an open channel for the universe to deliver everything you want. The key is surrendering the need for control, surrendering the need to prove your worthiness, and surrendering the belief that you have to work harder or strive more to have what you want. You let go of resistance and open yourself up to the abundance that is already yours. At the same time, it's important to recognize that the process of manifesting what you desire isn't about doing nothing. It's about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the vision of who you are and what you want to bring into your life. But the key distinction is that you are not trying to get something that is separate from you. You are allowing your true self to emerge and express itself fully. Your desires are not something outside of you that you need to chase down. They are an expression of who you already are. And the more you align with your true nature, the more everything you desire will flow toward you effortlessly. Think about how much easier it is to attract positive outcomes when you are calm and centered. When you are relaxed and at peace, you are in a state of allowing. You are no longer pushing, no longer forcing, but instead, you are simply being. And in that state of being, you are vibrating at the frequency of everything you desire. It's like a magnet drawing everything you want right to you. The harder you push, the more you are pushing against the flow of life. But when you stop trying and simply align with the present moment, with who you truly are, you open the floodgates to your desires. This might feel like a paradox, especially if you spent your life working hard to get ahead, trying to achieve something, or chasing after success. But that's exactly the point. Your hard work and effort are not what bring you true fulfillment. They may bring temporary results, but long-term fulfillment comes from a place of inner peace, from a state of acceptance, and from knowing that you already have everything you need. Your worth does not depend on what you achieve or acquire. Your worth is inherent. And the moment you realize that, you stop chasing and start living in alignment with your true self. This is where true power lies, in the ability to release the need for external validation and to simply be who you are. When you are fully aligned with the energy of who you are, when you are not attached to outcomes or driven by the need to prove something, you become magnetic. You become a vessel through which all your desires can flow. And the best part is, it's not a difficult thing to do. It doesn't require years of effort, hard work, or sacrifice. All it requires is the willingness to stop trying, to trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and to allow the universe to work its magic. The law of attraction is a powerful force, but its true power lies in understanding that you are not the one doing the attracting. You are the one allowing. The universe is already bringing you everything you desire. Your job is to align with that truth and let go of the need to chase after it. Once you stop trying to get it, you realize that it's always been there, waiting for you to claim it. It's been right in front of you the entire time, and all you had to do was stop running after it. When you stop trying, you stop resisting, you stop fighting against the flow of life. And in that moment of surrender, you become one with the universe. You become the creator of your reality, not by trying to force it, but by allowing it to unfold in its perfect time and form. The process of manifestation is not about striving, but about being. It's about stepping into the person you are meant to be and living as if everything you want is already yours. One of the most profound realizations you can have is that you don't need to work hard to achieve your desires. The universe is abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. There is no scarcity, no shortage, no competition. The only thing standing between you and your desires is the belief that you need to try to get them. When you release that belief and accept that everything you need is already here, everything you desire will manifest effortlessly. The power is not in the struggle. The power is in the surrender. The power is in letting go of the need to chase, to fight, and to force things into being. The power is in knowing that you are enough, that you are worthy of everything you desire, and that everything you want is already on its way to you. The moment you stop trying to get it is the moment you open the door to everything you have ever wanted. When you let go of the need to chase after what you desire, you shift your energy from a place of scarcity and lack to one of abundance and trust. This is the key to transforming your life. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is trying to fill a void, and instead you recognize that you are already whole. Your desires are not separate from you, they are a reflection of your own inner being. The more you align with your inner self, the more your desires naturally unfold. It is in the act of letting go, of not grasping so tightly to the outcome, that you create the space for your dreams to become a reality. Imagine for a moment that you are in a constant state of longing, always striving, always trying to achieve the next thing. The mind is continuously working, calculating, figuring out what to do next, how to get to the next level. There is no peace in this cycle. It's exhausting. But when you stop, when you pause, and allow yourself to be present, something miraculous happens. You create a gap in the noise, a stillness that allows the universe to step in. It's as though you've finally stopped fighting against the current, and now you are allowing the current to carry you effortlessly toward your destination. This doesn't mean that you become passive or lazy. It simply means that you cease the struggle, and instead you act from a place of inspiration rather than desperation. The actions you take come from a place of alignment, not from a place of pushing and forcing. When you act from inspiration, your actions are energized and effortless. The results you achieve are a natural outpouring of your alignment with your true self, not a result of hard labor or endless striving. Now think about the energy you bring to every situation in your life. How often do you find yourself caught in a state of needing approval, validation, or achievement? How much of your energy goes into trying to prove something to others, or trying to be something you're not? When you stop trying to get approval, when you stop seeking external validation, you release yourself from the chains of comparison and competition. You stop looking outside of yourself for confirmation and begin to trust the wisdom within. The truth is, everything you need is already within you. The moment you stop trying to get what you desire, you start to recognize that you already have it. You start to see the ways in which your desires are already showing up in your life, even if they are in subtle forms. You realize that the key to manifesting what you want is not through striving, but through aligning with your own inner truth. It's about trusting the process and having faith in the timing of the universe. When you stop trying to get it, you stop putting pressure on yourself. You stop living in a state of constant need and longing. Instead, you step into a state of abundance, of trust, and of allowing. You begin to realize that your worth is not determined by what you achieve, but by who you are at the core. Your worth is inherent, and nothing outside of you can add or take away from that. Once you understand this, you no longer feel the need to chase after your desires because you know they are already yours. You simply need to allow them to come to you. This is the beauty of manifestation. It's not about forcing the universe to give you what you want. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of the universe. When you stop trying to get it, you open yourself up to receiving it in ways that you couldn't have imagined before. The universe has a way of bringing you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. And when you stop trying to make it happen, you stop blocking the flow of abundance that is always present. Let go of the notion that you have to work harder to achieve your dreams. Stop believing that you have to hustle and grind in order to succeed. These beliefs are rooted in scarcity and fear. They tell you that there isn't enough, that you have to fight for what you want. But when you stop trying to get it, you release yourself from this limiting belief. You step into a new paradigm, one where everything you desire is already within your reach. The shift from effort to ease is a powerful one. It requires trust. Trust that the universe knows what you need, and that everything you desire will come to you in its own perfect timing. Trust that you don't have to force anything, that you don't have to chase after your dreams. Trust that all you need to do is be yourself and allow life to unfold as it's meant to. The more you surrender to this process, the more your life begins to flow with ease. You begin to notice that opportunities arise effortlessly, that things start to fall into place without you having to force them. The job you've been wanting comes to you, the relationship you've been seeking manifests, the financial abundance you've desired appears without you needing to struggle or chase after it. It's as though the moment you stop trying, everything you've been seeking finds its way to you. This shift can be challenging, especially if you've spent your entire life believing that success comes from hard work, struggle, and effort. But the truth is, success doesn't come from striving, it comes from alignment. It comes from knowing that everything you desire is already yours, and that the universe is simply waiting for you to align with it. When you stop trying to get it, you allow the universe to deliver what's already on its way to you. Your desires are not something that you have to earn or deserve, they are simply a reflection of who you are. The more you stop trying to chase them, the more you step into the fullness of who you already are. And that is when you begin to experience the magic of life, the effortless flow of abundance, joy, and fulfillment that is your birthright. So take a moment and breathe. Let go of the constant pressure to get it. Release the need to strive, to chase, to struggle. Trust that everything you want is already on its way to you. Allow yourself to be present in the moment, to fully embrace the truth of who you are. And as you do, you will find that the very things you once chased so desperately will come to you effortlessly, simply because you stopped trying to get them. The universe is always working in your favor. Your desires are not separate from you. They are a reflection of your own divine essence. Stop trying to get them, and you will have it all. Allow the natural flow of life to bring everything you desire to you, and watch as your world transforms in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. When you stop trying to get it, you will finally realize that it was never about getting it at all. It was always about letting it come to you. In conclusion, the key to unlocking the life you desire lies in the profound act of letting go. When you stop trying to get what you want, you release the resistance that blocks your flow, and you allow the universe to bring your desires to you effortlessly. It's not about forcing or striving, it's about aligning with who you truly are and trusting that everything you seek is already on its way to you. The moment you stop the chase, you shift into a state of abundance, trust, and peace. You are enough, and you already have everything within you to manifest the life of your dreams. Embrace the power of surrender and allow your desires to flow toward you with ease. When you stop trying to get it, you open the door to receiving it all.